read what you want. Read what you enjoy reading. And don't let anybody shame you for it.
My goal was 50 books, and I'm at like 27, I think.
Lucia, pay attention to the desktop to make sure you're still recording.
Valid.
Yeah. Well, howdy. How are you?
We're doing.
We're here.
And you know what, guys? It's not a book talk without technical difficulties. So welcome to another rendition of whatever this video ends up being. Half of it you won't understand because it's just part of a conversation.
Well, trust me, if this is some reason the audio is not being recorded, like both conversations, I'm not even gonna put it up.
Then we can just redo Visible Life of Addie LaRue at some point if for some reason it doesn't work.
It was such a good book.
It
was. Yeah, so the book that we're reading for this month of September, you read A Crown of Ivy and Glass, and unfortunately last month you read The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab, and I actually have it right here in front of me.
Wow, for once!
Yes!
Well, and that was an unfortunate technical difficulty in that I accidentally stopped recording, and that was
15 minutes into an hour long
chat. I honestly don't know like what happened. Maybe my brain was like, oh, I forgot to hit. I don't know. Mistakes happen, I guess.
Yeah,
technology sucks sometimes.
Yeah, but before we begin our discussion on A Crown of Ivy and Glass, I did want to take a few minutes talking about Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, which we all very much enjoyed. It was such a good book, and from what I recall, it was. I don't know for you, Mary, but I know for Katie and I, it was our first time reading her. Had you read her before? Also, I can't remember.
I have not. I had heard of them, but I hadn't read their books yet. I have The Darker Shade of Magic, and I have Vicious and Vengeful, which is a duology. So I have that I have the first book in that first trilogy, and I have the duology, and I will be reading more from them eventually.
Me too.
I just have to get through my endless TBR.
It's on the list for sure.
I did steal my book back though. If any part of the old one does come back into this video, I mentioned that my brother had whatever. It's fine. I mentioned in the other video that my brother, I gave my brother my signed copy of his Invisible Life of Addie LaRue because I didn't think I'd ever read it.
Yeah.
And I read it and I was like, you're giving that back.
Give it back.
So when I saw
really
this
good.
weekend, I took it back.
Nice. We had all met the author at New York City Comic Con, and I believe y'all had met the author again at the convention y'all went to.
Or no, we didn't. We didn't see them again.
Okay, so I'm getting mixed with all the conventions and stuff.
We
met them at New York City Comic Con, basically.
The book we read this month, we met at the convention we went to.
That's the one. Sorry.
I don't actually know if I met Claire. I might have met Claire. I'd have to look back.
She signed my other books, so
yeah, I'd have to go look back through my signatures to see. But I didn't have a book, and I hadn't read anything by Claire, so I didn't.
Oh, yeah, so we all very much enjoyed The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. It was very poignant, very hot topic conversations in terms of a soul and worth and freedom and love
very
and
crazy.
Just mental health and the power of growth. And I just thought we all just thought it was very good. And if anyone has any questions on further parts of the book, you're more than welcome to put them in the comments. And again, that was my fault for accidentally stopped recording on my end. And now we can get started with this month's book, September's, which is A Crown of Ivy and Glass, book 1 of the Middle Mist trilogy.
Middle Mist trilogy.
Yes, which
by Claire Legrand
is out now.
Yes.
Yep. I looked that up.
It.
Which I want to read because the main topic, or not topic, but the sister is the sister that I was like, I want to know more about her.
Yes.
I
was going to say, if you guys want to keep going, I've already read it, so read it when you get to it, and then we can come back and keep talking.
Yeah, keep chit-chatting.
Well, I have to buy it.
Yeah, it did just come out, so I'll allow her to make you charge for it.
Is the first one free, or is it on KU?
It's on KU.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, it went on KU the day after I bought that.
That's disrespectful.
Right.
Guys, so yeah. I want to pause this real quick and just a moment for the nails, because I'm not a girl who gets her nails done.
Okay.
Thank you. Now we can continue.
Nice. So yeah, this month we read Crown of Ivy and Glass, book 1 of a trilogy, and I honestly don't remember y'all telling me exactly what it was about before I got into it.
I guess we did. No, I just said I have
I was just
book 2, this is what we're reading.
Yeah, usually when it comes to y'all's picks, I kind of figure there's some sort of fairy-like-esque element to it. So of magic sort of fantasy.
Yeah.
I was expecting like fairies or the fae, but that didn't come until like later on, sort of. Yeah. So
this is really 2 books. You hit a point, and it's a different book.
Truly, the only way that I can describe this is if you've read ACOTAR and you'd understand how like 60% of the way through the book, it feels like a completely different book. That's what this is. So the very beginning of it is similar in that you have this, what you think is the main story, and then all of a sudden it just takes a turn.
Does a quick 180.
Which like was for the better of this book, but the first turn that it takes, where it's just like a 180 whiplash moment of this is a completely different story, what the fuck is happening, changes the pacing of the story as well.
It very much needed pace change.
Yeah, because instead of going pretty much day to day, hour by hour in the beginning, it goes, and now it's been 3 months and no one's found me yet. And I don't actually remember if that's the exact timeline, but quite literally, she is with a group of people for a very long time. I'm like, why are you so chill? Why has no one found you yet?
Yeah.
Nothing's happened.
Yeah, this is about a girl.
Been kidnapped.
What's her name?
Her name is Imogen.
Gemma, right? That's her nickname.
It's not Imogen?
It's Imogen, but she goes by Gemma.
Okay, I was gonna say, isn't that Imogen?
Imogen sounds nicer.
I feel like we've talked about this name before. There's like another character.
Wing. Yeah, Imogen.
That's right. And we literally had that exact conversation with that character too.
Yeah.
It just had deja vu.
Let me read the little blurb for you, because I think it really gives the vibe. She's young, gorgeous, and rich.
Slay.
Her family is also anointed by the gods, which means they've been blessed with magic. Oh, blessed with incredible abilities. My bad, I should have kept reading. But underneath her glittering facade, Gemma is deeply sad, homegirl depressed. Years ago, her sister Mara was taken to the Middle Mist to guard against treacherous magic. Her mother abandoned the family. Her father and eldest sister Farron, embroiled in a deadly blood feud with the mysterious Basque family, often forget Gemma exists.
Tell me you're the youngest sibling without telling me you're the youngest sibling.
Worst of all, Gemma is the only Ashborn to possess no magic. Instead, her body fights it like poison. Constantly ill, aching with loneliness, Gemma craves love and yearns to belong.
See, reading it like that is just describing my exact life. Youngest sibling, chronically ill, lonely.
Then she meets the devastatingly handsome Talon Diastier.
Edward.
Yeah.
Edward Cullen.
Seduced by a demon, his family destroyed themselves. Talon is determined to redeem his family's honor. Intrigued and enchanted, Gemma proposes a bargain. She'll help Talon navigate high society if he helps her destroy the Basques. But attacks on the Middle Mist are increasing. The plot against the Basques quickly spirals out of control, and something immense and terrifying is awakening in Gemma, drawing her inexorably toward Talon and an all-consuming passion that could destroy her, or show her the true strength of her power at last.
You know, I'm low-key glad I didn't know any of that, because I feel like a part of me is like, I wish I would have known it, because I would have been like, damn, when is the twist gonna happen? You know, I needed to hurry up faster because it's dragging. Like that one, the one Snapchat I sent y'all. I'm like, I don't give a fuck, you know.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it makes it more. Yeah, I didn't know any of that prior to going in.
I hope it's adult. This was a filthy book.
Listen, I don't think we knew that it was adult going in.
I don't think
because it's not as adult as it ended up being.
No. I definitely wasn't anticipating it, because like Furyborn has almost no sex.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden this man says, a very specific line, and we were all shook. Katie read it first, and she was like, I didn't expect this to happen.
I guess I wasn't shook because I knew about it. Y'all tell me.
Yeah. And I was shook when I found it and I was at work, and I was like, never mind, I'm pausing this.
And it's not like it's like super explicit or like super graphic, but like the way it's written just feels so incredibly intimate that you're like, should I be reading this right now?
You know I've been thinking lately, and I was thinking about this when I was reading this book, and it doesn't necessarily fit it, but I was like thinking, I wonder if some authors create sex scenes or love-making scenes prior and then build around sometimes.
I'm sure there's an author that does.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't quite fit.
I have in my own whip.
It's the door book, isn't it? It's
the door
Unhinged, literally.
Yeah. But I wasn't quite thinking that for this because there's obviously still plot, but a lot of stuff, especially in the beginning of, our main character's relationship, I'm like, I don't give a fuck.
I think the hardest part too is like,
also your audio keeps going in and out, Katie.
Sorry.
No.
Your audio.
It's probably just Mary's internet connection.
Yeah.
Who has bad internet connection?
Mary.
Let me turn off the Wi-Fi. Let's get rid
of
the
Wi-Fi
Wi-Fi.
sucks up here.
The Wi-Fi.
There you go. No Wi-Fi.
Okay, so I think the biggest reason that like the first half of this book sucks is that Gemma is such a self-absorbed person. So she doesn't give a fuck about what's going on around her until she starts to like awaken.
Stop running away.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. At the very beginning, she's visiting her sister Mara in the Middle Mist, like wherever it is, and then alarms sound, and the protectors have to go into the mist to do protecting, and Gemma's like, I'm gonna follow you because you were gonna tell me something and you didn't get to tell me something.
Right.
Like an idiot. And then she sees her sister as like this creature.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, that's terrifying.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's not brought up again for another 70% of the book.
No, they bring it up in terms of like her sickness.
Yeah, but like we don't see Mara.
No, you see Gemma actively avoiding Mara.
Actively avoiding everything.
Yeah, they're avoiding their problems.
But nothing happens again for like
because that's her character for her, yeah.
Yes, she's insufferable until action actually happens, and then I finally liked her.
Yeah. So the arc that you're seeing too is like her overcoming
avoidance.
Yeah. So the avoidance is kind of like the way she's trauma responding to her childhood.
Yeah,
because
of course.
These three girls have had god awful childhoods, quite frankly. They all almost died in a fire. Their mother abandoned them. Like, it's this whole thing.
Their father ignores the youngest.
Father is a piece of shit, quite frankly.
Oh, also, here's the tea with this story. Is Gemma feels immense guilt for Mara going to this because it's supposed to be the youngest.
The youngest.
Yes.
Yeah. And she wasn't because she was ill. And they were like, how about you take Homegirl instead? And the only reason there was an exception made is because the headmaster, or whatever the fuck her name is, was like, yeah, I prefer Mara anyway, so you bring her over.
Yeah, so...
They referenced her to Eyes of like an Owl.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, her whole arc is kind of her, like, overcoming her...
I think it's realizing that she's not weak.
Yeah.
It's not realizing she's not weak. Own. Because, like, I am not shaming anyone, because what she reminds me of is a lot of people, and you can go down certain ways in terms of trauma. I've had, I've known people, and I'm sure y'all may have as well, who've gotten through things traumatic and uses drugs and sex to dull that pain, to make them feel alive. And that's essentially what she did.
That really is, yeah. She's drinking all the time, constantly has her little courtiers and stuff. Like, she's known as that person.
The flirt. Let's just say a flirt.
Yeah, flirt. That's a good way to put it. So, like, you see her kind of, like, you see her going through and avoiding all these things, and then, like, a chain of events happen that forces her to actually look at herself and come into, like...
And realize how strong she is.
Yeah.
And I know we're skipping into the end. I'm going to skip to the end right now. But after everything that goes down, she thought she tells what's, Edward.
Talon.
Talon. For those, okay, the way that homegirl would call him is like, oh, he's so pale, he's so beautiful, this and that. I'm like, Edward Cullen, calm down. That's why I'm saying that. As Team Edward since day one, okay? Anyways, like, she acknowledges at the end, I thought after going through this ordeal, fighting this and that all the jumbled mess in my head would be done. And I am so happy, grateful, that they didn't brush that aside. Mental health is such a huge thing. It's so important to not brush aside.
Mm-hmm. Because she has panic attacks basically throughout the whole book. They
severe ones.
Panic. Yeah, they're like debilitating. Like she can't function at all. And by the end of the story, while yes, she's become a stronger person who's more aware, she still has those panic attacks and discuss it.
The strength that she shows to not self-harm.
Because she does.
Yeah.
And it's
there is
not
a scene,
graphic, but it is still on page.
Yeah. And I am proud of her. Obviously, like we were just saying before, she was very superficial. Mm-hmm. She wasn't a character. So as a reader, you don't necessarily care about her. As a reader, I don't care about her fling, this guy, this newcomer. But as you dive deep into both of their backstories, you start, caring and wanting them to succeed. Now, I don't have their fucking names in front of me. I know I just read this book today.
Literally, she read it today. We read it a few weeks ago.
Yeah. Well, y'all know that I'm terrible with names. It is what it is. T, homeboy.
Talon.
I'm in love with him.
Thank you.
I grew to love him.
Oh, you know what I'm so happy about?
It was a grow. I am.
You know what I'm so happy about? That there was no damn character with shadow powers.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yes.
Refreshing.
It was refreshing.
This day and age.
He has mind control instead.
No, not mind control. He's an empath.
Yeah, empath.
Yeah.
Which, he can use to influence other people's heightened emotions and lower them, which is, I honestly think is a great ability. It's a cool-ass one.
But also a dangerous one. And he would have been, if people knew, he would have been, arrested.
Yeah.
It was a great ability. But yeah, so this is a book about, the fact that the stories and the folklore of their childhoods are in fact real, and that there's a demon vying for not control, but vying in puppeteering in a way of two feuding families.
Mm-hmm. So there's basically the whole legend is that the reason they're in the blood feud is that a demon has enthralled their families to fight with each other for his own love of chaos.
What's the other family?
The Basques.
Yep.
Who had been trapped in a forest for many years after attempting to murder the Ashbournes in a fire and have recently resurfaced. But anyway, so that's the legend about why they have a blood feud, and it turns out that legend is in fact true. So Gemma and Talon go hunting for this demon, and Talon was supposedly helping Gemma defeat the demon to end the blood feud, but Gemma was trying to find the demon to ask for her own magic.
Yeah, so that she would not be in pain anymore. And I would just like to say, I didn't trust Talon from the moment he was introduced.
No,
I was like, this man's shady. Something's up.
Right? Something's up. Something's awkward.
He's too nice.
But I love him.
I'm like, what is it with you and your sad eyes?
But his story was so well done, because every time I thought, okay, he's doing it. He's the demon, or he's the person, blah, 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 something, or he's working for somebody. It would then, there'd be a reason why it wasn't
him, yeah.
And there was
remember that not TikTok, that Snapchat I sent y'all. I was like, I need them to either reveal him to be the bad guy already, because it's clearly setting up to be that, or it's a mistake. Why was it both?
Why was it both?
Because it was, that's how they...
And it was so good. So there's I don't even remember how she gets kidnapped.
I don't remember
these women.
At the friend's
place.
She
didn't find her.
She ends up being kidnapped.
I want me to tell you how?
Yeah, you just read it,
you
right?
remember it.
She's at
her friend's house
because she's
at her friend's house, and she hears all.
No,
Was that after?
Well, she had just had sex with Talon, whatever,
and
the first time.
So her powers are like slowly coming through, and she has sex with him, and she doesn't realize that she shapeshifted her own fucking face, and he freaks out and is like, I didn't know, and we don't know what he thinks is happening.
I don't think that's when she goes to
That's
Ilaria.
not then.
No, she goes to Ilaria's house.
No, she goes to her friend's house after she fights off the demon who attacked her sister, and, she has all of the mirror on her skin.
That's right. And then her dad tells her what he did to
tells
her,
her
right?
the truth.
Yes.
Yeah.
That he mutilated her body and made her magic.
Her and her mom, they hired someone from across the other side.
I thought
so. No, I remember now. So
or before that,
there wasn't. She is mad at Talon in that moment because it is after that point. But the reason she's at Ilaria's house is because she made a deal with the three-eyed crown demon,
right? And then he tried
to steal Farron, and Gemma saved her by encasing herself in glass.
Yeah, essentially.
This
with her
probably
powers.
sounds absolutely crazy.
No, it's because she uses magic, and then magic has a cost. So the damage that happened at her house,
right?
Then the glass was infused,
and
into
then
her,
Farron basically bullies their dad into telling them what happened because Farron didn't
Let's
know
go!
either, but like,
she's like, "Are you gonna look at your daughter? Are you gonna comfort her?" And he's just, like,
I know. I was
I'm
like,
so sorry.
So basically, their dad is like, you did have magic, and it was really powerful and really terrifying. And
let's be honest here. It was fucking scary. The things he was describing.
Was scary.
I mean, but she's just like turned herself into a fucking tree, changes her mom's appearance
into like a monster.
Yeah. So they basically paid an old country magician,
a hack doctor.
He had some kind of fancy name to like mutilate the inside of her body and suppress her magic, which is why she is in pain all the time.
Yeah.
So
isn't it interesting? Sorry, I'm so sorry to interrupt you.
No, it's fine.
Isn't it interesting how in this world how your magic is within you and your organs and in that way instead of like like a force in you?
It was a really interesting concept, and I like, well, awful as it is, I liked the idea that they could like go in and like do that to a person. Like that's a very unique.
So whenever if you have like a transplant of some sort, does that mess up your powers?
Right. Yeah, it's very interesting. So she basically runs away from home because she's pissed off that her dad did that to her, which valid. So she's hiding,
valid.
Right. She's hiding at Ilaria's house, who is her best friend, when Talon comes to apologize.
Yes.
And then they do the dirty, and then
these people, so her sister, because she goes to her sister's place of work, if you will, actually quite a few times after the initial avoidance, because there's these pathways that they go on, and her sister tells her about these creatures that are coming through and stealing people and stealing, clothes and, kidnapping people and we don't know what, and so she realizes, oh, those are the people or creatures that are, that my sister was talking about, and so Talon and this buck-ass nakedness goes outside, kills some people, it's true. I think, she knows that her best friend don't like his smelly ass, she's like, he smells weird, and she still fucks him in her friend's room.
Right?
Guest room.
It's still her friend's house.
They did have sex that first time, and she changes her face, and he's like, I didn't realize. Yeah. And that's why they're fighting. And then that whole thing happened. Yes. So this is like their makeup sex.
Yes, it is makeup.
Well, they don't have sex out. They don't have, he fingers her.
That's still, they're having some sort of intercourse.
Yeah,
they are naked together.
They weren't naked.
Anyway, so she gets kidnapped by these women who are actually reanimated corpses.
Yeah.
Which I thought was actually cool. I forgot what word it is. It starts with a V.
Cool, but a terrifying twist to think about the way that they're like describing them.
Yeah, they sound horrifying.
This is disgusting.
They like
I
stitch
love
their body back together with like leaves and flowers and stuff.
So sad for the girl though that like
all
is
of
like
them, actually.
her main protector.
Yeah,
and she just slowly gets closer and closer to her every night because she's scared. She's like, "You're the only thing that's comfortable, I guess." Hi, you fucking
But it's
stitched
I love how these characters that usually see like necromancies, they have these people they bring back from the dead. We don't typically see that, those point of views of those people.
Yeah,
we usually see the point of view of the necromancies, you know? But we see these people, and they're like, damn, how is this a life? This isn't a life. We're literally brought back and do someone's bidding. We were lied to. We weren't told that this was going to happen sort of situation, you know? And I just thought that was lovely.
Yeah, so these women are basically, like, under the control of the men who brought, or people, we don't know if they're all men, that's
necromancies
of some sort. The people who brought them back to life, so they're basically collecting sacrifices for those people, which is why they basically were attracted to Gemma's power, which is why they went to go get her.
Yeah, because when she fought the demon, Ed felt it across the lands.
So she's basically with these people for months on end.
Like, at least 3 months.
Nobody's able to come find her, which is wild, because her dad's, like, one of the strongest magic wielders. Whatever.
And what we learn as a plot twist at the end of this whole sequence is that, you know, Talon, the boy she's been messing with, is the demon.
The three-eyed.
That her father made a deal with. However, it's not that he is the demon, he's actually possessed by the demon.
But he is also
a demon. So he's a greater demon.
Well, we don't necessarily know.
My whole brain, my world flipped upside down.
I think he's a god. Do you think do you think he's a god?
Talon? Or the
no. Well, because they say a demon. Obviously, we know that there's, you know, structures of power of, like, demons and stuff like that. I think because even the queen of the land was afraid of him, of the guy that was possessing Talon. Do you think maybe he's a god?
I almost answered that question, and I can't. I can't.
We learned in book 2. Lucia's more excited about it than I am.
So
I would read book 2. I don't
so
think it's
basically,
high on my list,
she's with these people, and they basically develop this coup where Gemma's going to help some of them who don't want to be under their control anymore break free of their control. And in the process of doing that, they stumble across the grove where the three-eyed crown demon lives, which Gemma had found previously.
And made the whole deal, and that's why he tried to take the sister.
Right, and so...
Because, again, these pathways...
Yeah, they're little magical pathways. So she goes into his den again, because she's, like, drawn into it, and lo and behold...
She's like, I know that white sexy back.
I know that white boy. That's my boy.
That's my favorite white boy.
I love that audio. So lo and behold, it's Talon in there.
Like, and she beats the shit out of him.
Yeah, she does.
She kicks his ass.
She rips the trees out of the ground.
What the fuck? And he's like, let me
said, you were
inside
of me.
Let me tell you something. Literally, she's like, I gave everything to you. Right? I trusted you, and you lied to me this whole time.
She's like, I tickled your pussy.
And then he tells his big story, which... Like, I was still kind of mad at him, but immediately kind of forgave him. But it did feel a little bit like a cop-out. Gemma forgave him too easily, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Okay, but that's Gemma's character.
I know. It makes
sense. Do you think she just fell for him too easily?
She definitely was in love with him by that
100% was I'm falling for the first man that gives me attention, because I haven't had it my entire life. That's on trauma.
That was definitely daddy issues.
So basically, Talon is a demon. He's not actually the three-eyed... Well, I guess he is. He is one of many people who have been the three-eyed crown demon.
Yes.
Who is bound to serve this all-encompassing being called Kilwraith, who nobody really knows what he is, or where he is, or what he's capable of. And, he basically got in a fight with his demon family, and Kilwraith found him in the forest after said fight.
When he's a child.
Yeah,
he's
like
because the Titans came and the Titans.
That's right, the Titans. Yeah,
came and killed the family.
Killed his whole family, and he ran into the woods, and Kilwraith took him in and tricked him into being in his service.
Gave him
do you want to go back? Like, I'll keep you safe,
right?
For my Naruto watchers out there, he was giving Orochimaru. My Naruto watchers out there, he was giving Rochi.
So now,
but, maybe
this is the point where what you thought the plot goes out the window.
No, literally.
We're not looking for the demon anymore. We're not looking to give
I would also like to say at this point, this is when
times.
when she's in captivity, this is when that soul strength also...
Yeah, she starts to really...
physical strength, start to bring so much more, because shout out to... I'm not going to remember their names, but there's 3 in particular.
I don't remember their names either, so...
the
reanimated
dead women.
corpses.
Yeah.
The undead women corpses. Shout out to the necklace awards that Homegirl is making.
Yeah. So they really help her kind of start
embrace
to learn
her inner
and
strength.
embrace, yeah.
They've been training her this whole time.
Right.
She's a captive, and they're like, we're gonna fucking train your ass.
So now they basically have this big plot where they like destroy the well, don't really destroy. They break the curse that has those women bound to the necromancers, and then escape with Talon back to wherever they live, Ivy Hill. And now their whole goal is to get Talon out from under the control of Kilwraith.
Yes.
They're going to go break his curse.
They also used that breaking of the curse to mask Talon trying to like run away.
So Kilwraith can't find him right now because
and he's getting weaker.
So he's getting weaker and sicker and by the day because Kilwraith is trying to find him. Mm-hmm. And then Homeboy does find him eventually.
Well, they go to the city. I mean, they go to the
old country.
Queendom. The palace.
So they go see the queen.
And the queen is like, I need, and like, don't ever come here again because like this is a lot.
The queen
and
is
she,
the
like,
most
changes...
cryptic human being in this entire book.
She knows, she is omniscient.
Yeah,
she is the omniscient person in this world.
The whole lore of the queen is she was made by the gods in the unmaking, which is this big event, like think Big Bang, but for the gods and magic. That's kind of what happened. Like the gods imploded and their magic just kind of
spread.
Went into the world. Magic because it was claimed by different families.
So the queen was basically made during that, chosen by the gods, and has been like imbued with like all-encompassing magic and all of their knowledge and everything. But she's also still a person, so she's this very like.
She's friends with
She's best friends with Farron. Yeah. So
Farron has great power, by the way.
Music. Yes. Me.
So they like go to see her to ask for help, and from Farron's best friend, the scholar guy too, because he studies
or whatever,
old country beings.
Gareth,
and
Gareth.
While they're talking to the queen, she like goes to see Talon, and you can like she gets very scared and very cryptic, and she's like, "Don't ever come back." But then like leaves them like a secret book with the answer that they
Gareth was like
he's a scholar. He picked up this book. He's like, yeah, I think this is cool, and then forgets that it's in his hand. And she like switches out what content is in the book so that they have the information they need. But they're like, I can't let you go
about
to the
curses.
You can stay the night, but you gotta leave.
So
and then all hell breaks loose with chimeras.
So Gareth figures out what the curse is, and while he's explaining to everybody what needs to happen, a bunch of chimera break into the palace. Chimera, whatever.
Chimera.
Listen, I read, I don't listen.
You know, it's because of Full Metal Alchemist that I know that word.
That's just lore. It's literally Teen Wolf.
I've literally only ever seen that
Full
word
Metal Alchemist.
Tell me read.
And so there's this whole thing. There was actually the Basque children are imprisoned in the palace because they
Why are they in prison though? Do y'all remember?
There was a lot happening with the Basque. So I do remember because Homeboy fucked up because he was actually a little bit possessed by the demon again. At that time,
no, that's not why they're in prison. They're in prison because they pretended to be their mom.
Oh yeah. That was but that was from revenge from that happening.
Revenge from the
so what it was is that like they, with the deal that Gemma and Talon had, they were just going to destroy the Basques and embarrass them. So they embarrassed the sister.
So petty, though.
At the competition, this like music competition. And then they also, because Ryder was upset about it and Talon is an empath, excuse me, he like hyped up on Ryder's emotions and made him like aggressive and try to attack Fallon.
Ryder wanted to fuck that sister.
He did.
And they made it more aggressive.
And he also wanted to fuck her up.
Listen, that scene made me a firm believer that Ryder is the shining boy that saves Farron.
Yes.
Of course. Yeah. They're talking about the story of the song.
Because the song is about the shining Ryder. And he gets all worked up, and that's what Talon like fuels to make him go attack
he's
her.
Like he felt some type of way. He didn't realize that it was
I think so
passion
too.
And lust.
Right.
Much like everyone else did. But Fallon also has trauma because the last time she performed publicly, everyone was like trying to get her because her music is so good.
Yeah.
That's literally her power.
But
there was that, and so then they got revenge on them by the sister glamoring herself into being their lost mother.
And
so like it's embarrassing to dad, it's embarrassing to the sister.
The stoic guy sees his wife.
It's just like
and he like his face like, crumples. Really good.
Yeah, their dad is like the strongest bitch in the world. Like his magic.
I do want to see his powers. I do want to see his powers.
He took the beating. Yeah. He's like, I'm in shock.
So, anyways, the Basques are in prison, and the Basques' power is that they can communicate and control animals.
Yep.
So they let them out of prison to help with the masses. Yeah. I'm not going to say the word anymore.
I'll just keep going.
I got you
until you get it right.
So while Gemma and Farron and Gareth and Talon are escaping the palace, they run into Alistrania and Ryder, and they all leave together to go get Mara out of the Middle Mist and then go into the Old Country.
Yep.
Tell me why I'm so much more invested with Ryder and Farron than I.
100%.
Like, the second that Ryder came back for that, I was like, "All right, get rid of these other people. I'm in love with them.
You're gonna love book 2,
so I have to read book 2. Got it.
I really want to read book 2 for them. As soon as I finished the book and they're like, "Oh, sneak peek for book 2," I was like, "Okay, let me check real quick." And it said like the point of view. I was like, "Fuck you!"
I will say I fell in love with Ryder because, which is so stupid, the moment where he was like, I guess it's up to me to talk you out of your panic attack.
I love that.
He's like, everyone else is busy and you're the leader, so like you have to get your shit together, so talk to me. Get it out.
That was amazing.
I'm like, all right.
And he's so beautiful,
if any of you talked me through a panic attack, I'm actually punching you. Leave me alone.
So they go in the Old Country, they find Kilraith's den, they remove, there's basically...
the literal crown that's on his head.
Anchors that are a part of
It's funny, it's literally called a crown of ivy and glass. A crown.
Yeah. So they go to the Old Country to find the anchor that's tying Talon to Kilraith, and it ends up being a crown that's actually like embedded in his head and glamored
and hidden.
So they dismantle it and they take it back, and it's
that all is well.
They defeat Kilraith for the time being.
Yeah. Why did this fucking house remind me of it though? They're like all of their basic, like not basic, but they're the highest fears that they have, and they're all like, I don't want to be here. I'm like, okay, fuck it house.
Okay.
And also, going back to the dad taking away the powers and everything like that. Another one of my theories, I didn't tell y'all, but my theory was that her power was taken away by like maybe her mom, and that's why she ran away. Because anime brain over here, I was like, they did that shit in Ranking of King. Similarly, fucking guy wanted to be the greatest king of all the kingdoms, so he stole his baby son's through the work of a demon power, and so left his son, baby Boji, sweetest little boy alive, with no powers. And very weak, and with the ability to no longer speak.
Yeah. Listen,
right. So we got 10 minutes before I gotta go.
Okay. So at the end, they're like, "We love you, but we have to separate. One day we'll be together again.
Right.
Love yourself for you, because I love this woman. I loved that."
Yeah. Because he.
Who's your favorite character? Go.
Find him, Talon.
Helen, okay.
What was the question?
Who's your favorite character?
What was your favorite character?
I was still on the train of thought that you were doing over there. My favorite character? Ryder.
We also, real quick, didn't talk about the whole Fae thing. While they're in the Old Country, the girls are like magic. Yeah, they basically become Fae. They look beautiful, and their magic is super strong.
And they can hear voices, and they're
all these things.
Whatever, and they're like, we don't hear anything.
The reanimated women are like, there's Fae blood in you. So they think that they're Fae, but nothing is confirmed. But something weird is going up with the Ashbourne sisters.
Yeah. My favorite part is at the very end when they're trying to take the crown off of Homeboy. The sister comes singing in. No, not obviously when he's attacking her, but like Homegirl starts singing, other sister starts, holding her in place. It was that power of 3 that a lot of witchcraft bring into the fold, and just the power of friendship, and because obviously we get sisters and everything, and at the beginning of the story towards the end, we have 3 sisters who aren't very as close as they used to be because of their lives and the way it was shaped and formed because of shit, and just that power of just the reconnection. I thought was literally the best part of that book for me. I literally got teary-eyed because sisterhood and friendship
Yeah.
and the power of 3 and so mote it be and yeah, charmed.
I love that.
I just want to take a moment to say her author photo is giving Bella Swan.
Really? I haven't seen
Stop,
it.
I'm never gonna unsee that now.
It's great. I definitely want to. My favorite character. Sorry,
yes,
writer.
Yeah.
I liked writer.
There we go. Yeah, no, my favorite part was quite literally him talking her through her panic attack, being like,
"It was great.
Let's use logic. Let's logic the shit out of this and get."
Garrett can't come. His arm's broken. He's gonna slow us down. He might get himself killed.
Next problem.
Right. My second favorite is definitely Ilaria. And I like her magic. I want to know more about her magic. It's very cool.
Did y'all see the Snapchat I sent y'all? Do y'all think she can smell love and lust? Like she can smell like sex, obviously that musk.
Yeah.
I feel like can she smell? Because she could smell like the evil in Talon,
emotions.
Right? Like she
can you smell emotions?
Maybe she could smell the curse in him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She's like, I don't.
Well, I thought she was smelling the demon. The fact that he was a demon.
I mean, I think.
I don't think it's a demon.
I think it's more the curse.
Yeah, the possession.
Because it smells foul, and while he's a demon, he's not an evil demon. The way he explains it, demons exist in the same way that humans are. They're both good and evil and in between.
Yeah.
So I don't know that it was necessarily that. I feel like it was more the curse that she was smelling.
Like Homegirl, almost like in the one Pirate Mermaid book that we just read. She can smell curses.
Mm-hmm.
Or some shit like that.
I gotta finish that. There's a third book to that series.
It's true. So I'm pretty sure I give this 5 out of 5 stars.
I gave it 4.
Nice.
Maybe it was 4. It was 4 or 5. I don't remember.
I definitely gave it 4, specifically because the first half I was so thrown.
It's on the gram, along with my review of book 2, which is out now and you should read.
Was it better than the first one?
I liked it a lot more, but I also identified with Farron a lot more than I did Gemma. So
okay, that's fair. Yeah, I look forward to reading the second one.
As long as
there's more writer content.
Yeah,
how are they the
story's
sex
about
scenes
Farron
better or about
less
the same?
less sex in the second
Disrespectful.
book. I'm gonna be honest, but when you read it, it makes sense.
Well, it's enemies to lovers right there.
It's more than that.
Oh.
There's some.
I mean, I would say guessing from the personalities of Farron, she's might be a virgin.
That's
and
I was going to say it's either virgin or she has a history of SA. So,
or because if you remember the It house, the sister was like, we'll get away from there. Maybe the brother doesn't like to be touched, or the writer doesn't like to be touched, or maybe there's a history of abuse there.
Somebody probably doesn't like to be touched.
Maybe,
unless it's with.
It's a very. There was less sex. It was sweet, less graphic, but well done.
More entertaining.
Not even more entertaining. Okay. There's trauma that is overcome in regards to sex, and it's well done.
That's good. Not good, but good.
Yeah.
Not good.
Listen, I didn't actually. Me as a sex lover in books, I didn't really care about their sex scenes in this book.
That's fair. They were kind of just there. They didn't add anything, but they were nice.
Yeah. They're just here's an adult book, so let's make it adult.
That's what I was asking about. I wonder if they sometimes write sex scenes prior to a scene just to make it that adult cover. Cross the bridge.
I don't know how I'm going to get to the scene, but the whole pinnacle and explosion of it is that they end up having some sort of intercourse.
Listen, if you're going to have sex, have sex. Do not fade to black on me, Holly Black.
No, it's not fade to black. My little scene is quite it's not graphic, but it's there.
All right, y'all. I gotta go learn Spanish.
What?
I have a Spanish class at 7:00.
Oh my god! I didn't know
Why?
That. Yeah, that's fun.
Why
not?
Porque me gusta hablar español.
You live in New
York. Never say that with an English accent. Never say that again with an English accent.
I can't do a Spanish accent. I can
Hola,
read it.
¿cómo estás?
No. I never got the accent right, but I can read it really well.
Hola.
Hola, ¿cómo estás?
I can also read it better than I can hear it.
Hola, ¿cómo estás?
Lucia, do you think I can speak more Spanish than you?
I don't know.
Listen,
you're speaking to someone who should have learned Spanish, considering my family speaks Spanish.
Okay.
Ask me if I know more Korean than Spanish.
Class.
I know the answer is yes. I know All right, friends. Thanks for joining us.
All right. Well, this was fun. Wait, what's our next book?
We never introduced ourselves, by the way.
It's fine. They know who we are.
I'm Lucia.
I'm Katie.
And I'm Mary.
And we're about to bounce. But what's the next book?
Legrand, you make beautiful books.
So
I'm gonna finish Fairyborn one of these days.
Yeah. So I actually had two choices, and I wanted to give it up to the group of, do we want to start another trilogy, or do we want to do a standalone?
I don't know.
If
Last year for October, we did Interview with the Vampire.
We sure did.
We could go down not the same vein, because it's not a vampire book. To my knowledge, it shouldn't be. But if we wanted to start a trilogy, I want to read Belladonna, which I believe is YA. And it's by Adeline Grace. We've read Adeline Grace before on the channel.
Mm-hmm. Don't remember.
It's it was the Stars and Teeth book, the first pirate book we read.
Oh, we liked that one.
Yeah, we did. This one's about Belladonna is about the Grim Reaper or death, I guess.
Yeah, it's
death. Yeah,
like the love.
Belladonna's a poison for witches, or that the witches used. Yeah.
So, YA spooky vibes, or we could do a standalone that just released in August. Lady Macbeth by Ava Reed.
Which is Macbeth told from Lady Macbeth's point of view.
And I believe is an adult book. I think it's just, like, more dark.
Right. I'm leaning towards Lady Macbeth, but I'd be okay with either.
Either way, I'm reading both, so it's just what you guys want to do.
Either or. You just let me know. Anyways, this was a lot of fun. There's Lady a lot Macbeth, more to discuss on this book. Just let me know, basically. There's a lot more to discuss because, that daddy... There's a lot more to discuss. Do we think the mom's still alive? I think she is. Yeah, there's a lot more mystery involved, and I look forward to reading more in book 2. And I look forward to reading book 3. I'm sure will be the middle sister's book. Yeah. I wonder who will be her love interest. Maybe it'll be Gareth.
It's set up in book 2, so you'll find out.
Ooh, okay.
I would want it to be Gareth, TBH.
Well, I don't know a lot of Mels, so we have to see a Mel in this book or in the second book.
That's valid. She could be gay.
She could be.
I feel like it's going to be one of the sisters that she, has the trainings with.
All right.
She knows.
Anyway, if she is gay, more power to her.
That's okay.
If she is, more power to her.
Slay.
All right. Goodbye. Thanks for joining us.
All right. Bye. This was Lizzie. Bye.
Goodbye.